Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be doing a commentary on the newest episode of Miraculous, episode 24, Representation. This episode was, something. Before we start this video off, I want to start with a warning that this episode and my commentary will include brief descriptions of infertility and also child abuse. So if you don't feel like you can handle that right now, that's perfectly fine, and you can just click on maybe another one of my videos that doesn't talk about that. I think we all knew this episode was going to be bad, but I don't know how many of us actually knew, and it was honestly a very dramatic change in tone from the usual Miraculous episode. Another thing I wanted to mention is the animation in this episode was amazing. I really liked the animation, the lighting, the animation, the dialogue. A lot of it in this episode was a lot better than in other episodes, and I'm really glad that they took the time to make sure that the tone actually felt like dark. The episode starts off with Adrian in London. From the context clues that the episode gives us, I'm assuming he already told his friends that he was leaving, including Marinette. And then the TV shows that Miss Bustier is running for mayor. She's nice, but I don't really know if she has what it takes to be the mayor, but you know, for Miraculous, I'll let it slide. I think Miss Bustier would be a great mayor. And then the TV says that Adrian and Kagami are publicly together, and we get to see a couple scenes of them being like, oh my god, I'm so madly in love with you, Adrian. And originally when I watched this, I thought that was Felix, but I'm pretty sure that is just actually Adrian, and they're being forced to say that stuff, which is horrible. Also, how would that even work? Because Adrian is already a celebrity, so wouldn't people recognize Adrian in public with Marinette? Like, I feel like somebody at least has to know that Adrian and Marinette have been like seen together, so it's kind of weird that he just shows up out of the blue with Kagami. Then we see Kagami in her room, also looking as sad as Adrian did in his hotel room, and Felix taps on the window and he draws a little heart. I was absolutely dying at this scene. For some reason, it seems really out of character for Felix to just run up and draw a heart on a window, but you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've been wrong before. He draws the heart, and Kagami and him go off to the Eiffel Tower where the dance is being held. And then we see Marinette at the dance. She was like, I don't know how she did it, because imagine your boyfriend like literally being in London and you just have to be at a dance the whole time while your friends are like reminding you of it. She is stronger than I am, because I personally would not do that. Adrian flies to Paris as Astro Cat because he wants to confess to Marinette that he is Cat Noir. Now obviously when I saw this, I knew that it wasn't actually going to happen. Adrian was like really impulsive in this. I was like, whoa. Marinette, she spots who she thinks is Adrian. She's running out to see Adrian. We see Mark and Nathaniel like holding hands and like gazing into each other's eyes, and she's like, oh, sorry. And I'm like, I think we just got Mark and Nathaniel confirmed. This part, I'm going to be honest, I did figure this part out because of a leak, and I regret knowing because I think I would have been very surprised. We see Kagami and Felix on top of the Eiffel Tower looking down at Marinette, and they have discovered that Marinette is Ladybug, or Kagami has discovered. During the episode Perfection, when Alia was comforting Marinette, Kagami overheard a lot of their conversation, and she, from that, obviously figured out that Marinette was Ladybug. My question is, why did Kagami tell Felix? I feel like Kagami would go to Marinette before she went to Felix, and I'm kind of mad at this decision from the writers that Kagami just told Felix and didn't go to Marinette, because it honestly makes Kagami seem like a pretty bad friend in this scenario. Then we obviously see, I was right from my prediction, we see Felix as pretending to be Adrien guiding Marinette to the art room, and I was just confused because is Marinette not like suspicious? Because I think I would be suspicious if my boyfriend was like within like 6 feet of me and he was just kind of ignoring me and like darting like random directions. Like I would be a little confused. But then Gabriel akumatizes himself, which I know. Great job, Gabe. So proud of you. And he goes off to find Adrien and Marinette at the dance, and obviously he doesn't find them. We see Natalie basically on her deathbed. The red streak in her hair has turned gray. She has really bad eye bags, and she's watching some of the last videos that Emily left her, and I am so sad. I have a feeling that Natalie might die, and I really don't want her to. So this part was actually crazy to me. The scenes where Cat Noir is fighting, I don't actually remember Gabriel's akumatization name. I'm just gonna say Gabe. But when Gabe's fighting Cat Noir, it's crazy. Cat Noir's like, if I were your son, I would do this. And Gabriel's like, if I were your dad, I would do this. Oh my gosh. The amount of just violence in this episode was pretty crazy. I think the amount of violence in this season is crazy because not only did Gabriel throw Alia against the floor, but Cat Noir was literally beating him with his stick. I'm not saying it's not deserved, I'm just saying it's a big change from what I'm used to with Miraculous. The next part is where I start to get a little confused. So we see Kagami and Felix on the roof making a sentimonster, and this sentimonster is supposed to reveal the secret of like the Graham de Vanilli family. I'm gonna say the Graham de Vanilli family. I know it's technically the Graham de Vanilli Fathom Agrest family, but I'm choosing to ignore the 2 other names for now, so I'm just gonna say Graham de Vanilli. But it's supposed to reveal the secrets of the Graham de Vanilli family to Marinette as Ladybug so that she can help them. I feel like it's kind of out of character for Felix to create another sentimonster when he's already told Kagami in Pretension that creating sentimonsters for your own gain is not like a good thing. And you know, the fact that they are literally senties, I don't understand why they did that. And they also didn't show them relinquishing the senti, so maybe they just keep it around just in case they need to reveal another secret. So then we see the play. I'm gonna continuously refer to this event as the play because I think that's the best way to describe it. I just want to talk about one thing. The babies, I'm so sorry, like what? The babies honestly were a jump scare for me for this episode. In Jubilation too, I was like, wow, like these genetics are really strong in this family. Why do they all look like that when they have kids? The babies were they were cute. Like honestly, seeing baby Adrien and Felix was really adorable. And I know that it's like a representation of them as babies and that's why they look like that. But it was just a little jarring seeing bright green, like piercing eyes on like little doll babies. So we learned that Emily and Amelie obviously are twin sisters, and Emily was born first, so her parents chose her to have the Graham de Vanilli twin rings. We also learned that Emily was the more rebellious and curious one, while Amelie preferred to, you know, study alone in her room, and she like obeyed her parents more. We also learned that Emily eventually went on to study abroad, which is probably why she ended up moving to Paris. She met Gabe, aka the tailor, and she gave up her title for him. So I mean, I personally wouldn't do that, but you know, go girl. And honestly, the scenes with them at the beginning are really cute. Obviously I couldn't think they were too cute because I knew it was coming. And then we switch back to Amelie's perspective and we find out that Amelie kind of not really had an arranged marriage, but she married somebody she wasn't really in love with. We know that's Colt Fathom, so I'm going to be referring to him as Colt. But they call him a Lord of War. He's American, by the way, so I don't really understand why they're calling him that. I guess it's just another, like, metaphor, but when I saw this man jump scare, because what? Why does he have a cowboy hat? Why at their wedding was he on a horse? I'm scared personally. The mustache, like, what is that? Like, it's giving Adrienne and Jubilation. Anyways, so then we cut back to Cat Noir and Gabriel, and Cat Noir eventually gets struck by the nightmare thing. But basically, when you get hit by it, your worst nightmare comes to life. So Cat Noir gets hit by it, and, you know, we see Cat Blanc, we see Ladybug fade away in his arms. This scene was absolutely devastating. I need him to find out about Cat Blanc, and I also need him to find out about everything else. Well, obviously, he doesn't know anything about the Senti story, and he also doesn't know anything about Cat Blanc, and if they continue to keep Adrienne in the dark throughout the season, I genuinely will be so upset, because he deserves to know, because it mainly centers around him, right? So he deserves to know, in my opinion. Emily and Amelie are now married, so it talks about them being unable to fall pregnant, so I'm assuming that the theory about Emily and Amelie both being infertile is true, or at least they just couldn't have children. It says that Amelie and Gabe regain contact with her parents to receive the best medicine that they can, and eventually through this we assume they meet Natalie, and we don't actually see Natalie in this, but we assume that they meet Natalie and they go and find the peacock in Tibet. So eventually Emily becomes pregnant, and I'm just going to talk about this for 1 second. I didn't think that Emily and Amelie actually became pregnant from the Peacock Miraculous. I thought that they just made the babies. Emily eventually becomes pregnant with, obviously, Adrienne. Colt becomes really jealous of this, so eventually Emily feels bad for her sister and decides to give the Peacock Miraculous to Colt and Amelie so they can also have a baby of their own. So Gabriel and Colt are talking, and they're like, while Gabriel's giving Colt the Miraculous, and Gabriel says, like, oh, I'm gonna give you this Miraculous, but in exchange you will give me your best knight to guard my son. Is this Gorilla? Are they trying to say that Gorilla is like the bodyguard that they gave? I'm assuming that's what it is. Maybe I'm just like stupid. And I know it's not Natalie because they already have the Miraculous, and we know that Natalie helped them find the Miraculous. So this is the part that I think a lot of people talk about when they talk about this episode. So obviously little Adrienne and little Felix are born. Them as babies is actually really cute if you ignore the fact they look like dolls. Like, the scene of them was cute as babies. And then we cut to Felix's perspective, and it says that Colt was starting to like lose his health because of using the broken Miraculous. He became increasingly angrier at the Miraculous and at the product of the Miraculous, Felix, and began to view him as more of a monster than a son. So we see a couple scenes of the abuse that Felix went through as a kid, and we also see scenes that say that Colt most likely controlled Felix a lot more than Gabriel at least did to Adrienne. And we see that Colt really didn't ever let Felix be happy, and the things that made him happy that Colt didn't approve of were taken away. Then we see, I think it's a shot of a hospital, and I'm assuming Felix's dad is dying due to the effects of the Miraculous. We see eventually Felix take back his signet ring, and I think Felix was a lot more aware of the Senti theory since he was younger. I'm assuming Amelie told him the whole story, at least after Colt died, because she didn't really love Colt, so she felt more open to sharing the story than like Gabriel and everybody else, like the other side of the family did. So yes, Colt dies and Felix takes his ring and becomes more autonomous. And then we cut to current day Felix, or at least our Felix that we've seen through the episodes, taking back one of the twin rings from Gabriel, and then also stealing all the Miraculouses to eventually take the Peacock Miraculous so that he can finally be free. I don't know about this scene. I don't really get his justification for taking the Miraculous. So I was a little bit confused around Felix and Kagami's motivations in this episode, because at the end it seemed that they were talking about themselves and like them wanting to be together. I don't know if they're calling on Ladybug so that they can be together. Are they calling on Ladybug so that Adrienne can be free and Kagami can be free? I'm not really sure. I was a little confused in the writing of this episode, but I did like some parts, but other parts did still leave me a little confused. I sympathize with Felix. However, he knowingly gave the villain all of the miraculouses so that he could fulfill like his wish, and I don't really know about that. I'm also confused on the Senti stage. I don't really understand how it works. I'm assuming that what the stage portrays isn't actually real. Like Kagami and Felix aren't actually acting it out. It's just in Marinette's head and it's playing through the stage. Adrienne gets the Akuma out, Zoe captures the Akuma like in a jar, and then eventually Ladybug, after she's done realizing that her boyfriend's a Senti, she goes back and she purifies the Akuma. But she didn't have a lucky charm and she didn't have miraculous Ladybug, and when Adrienne lands on Marinette's roof, he realizes that he still has the nightmare because Ladybug never did the miraculous Ladybug, and she didn't when she purified the Akuma. So I'm a little concerned. How long is Adrienne gonna live with this nightmare? Are we just gonna continue seeing him live with this nightmare? Like, I'm a little concerned. The end of the episode, this made me gasp. Like, I lost every ounce of respect that I ever had for Tomo and Gabriel. And I barely had any, but the tiny, tiny, tiny sliver of respect was gone. I don't care what happens to these people. I will be front row and center when Gabriel eventually meets his demise, whether that's next episode, the next episode after that, whether it's, I don't know. Well, I think he probably will. Anyways, we see, Gabriel on, like, a security camera system and also talking to Tomo, and we see Adrienne being walked into this white room, and we see Kagami already in the white room with her hands, like, over her head, obviously, because she's in trouble. But the rooms are completely white, and it looks like the walls might be padded, or at least, like, it's a room without any, like, stimulants. It's completely white. All of the surfaces are white, and the only thing to entertain yourself in that room, I think Kagami has, like, maybe a bookshelf, and Adrienne has, like, a foosball table. That's what you call it in America. I don't actually know what you call it in other places, but he has, like, a foosball table, and the one he has in his room, he has it in the middle of the room. Gabriel has actually gone insane. What? I can't believe they did that. That is, like, actually monstrous. I don't understand Gabriel and Cole. I hate them. I absolutely despise them now. Well, I always hated them, but now I hate them more. Because what? Because how is Adrienne supposed to get out of this room to become Cat Noir? Is he not going to be Cat Noir? Is this going to be a solo mission from Ladybug? If you enjoyed my commentary, or it made you as sad as it made me, please leave a thumbs up down below. Make sure to subscribe and comment down below stuff I missed, stuff that you think about this episode, and if you've watched this far, make sure to leave the X emoji, and then also leave is there like a cowboy emoji? If there's like a cowboy emoji or a cowboy hat emoji or a horse emoji, please do that, because I would just like to let you know how much I hate Colt and Gabe. Like, I am genuinely, like, out to get them now. Like, I'm watching, okay? Anyways, hope you all have a wonderful, miraculous day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!